gentlemen, welcome to the Pop Art Hunter channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at a few calendars from J. Scott Campbell's Fairytale Fantasy Collection. Now, I've done a tour and shown you some of the prints that I have from this collection, but these are the calendars that sort of started and inspired that. They came out in 2010, 11, 12, and 14. There was supposed to be a 16 calendar, but that didn't come out. There's another video about the theme, and also I have a rack card with a particular artwork from that. However, we're going to be looking at those 4 different years and 5 different calendars. I also have one that is a sketch version, but we're going to go through and kind of look at these, piece through them, and show you what they're like. So if it's something that you want to buy, you can also add it to your list and try to find it yourself. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so these are the calendars. They are very tall. And by very tall, I guess that's subjective and relative or something, whatever word you want to use for it. But the paper itself is 20 inches by 10 inches. And so if you're looking to frame these, you know, some people I could see cutting these out. If you did cut them out, you may want to cut out on this particular line, so then it would give you a different thing. You could probably just frame these and it would just be a smaller size. And I think they would actually frame up pretty nicely, because you would cut off the date here. You'd still have a little of the filigree at the bottom, and it would turn out to be a nice piece. And if you did that, it would likely be, let's see here, about 15, you'd probably go 14 and a half or 14. 14 would probably be better for framing purposes by 10. So 10 by 14, you could frame a multiple of these up and you would still get the title and the filigree, and it would look really, really good together. But we're gonna go ahead and flip through these and I'll show you what they look like. There's only one of them that we won't flip through because it's not open, it's still sealed, and I don't wanna open it. However, that doesn't matter, because stay tuned, I'll show you why. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. So we've got Glinda the Good Witch. This is actually one that I do not have. This was not my favorite version of his prints. Sort of remind me a little bit of the Cinderella prints, with this kind of almost looked like a dissolving dress with the little glitter and stuff. The colors, it almost reminded me of Barbie. Like it looks like a cover to a Barbie film or something like that. And even though I love the Wizard of Oz, and I have all the other Wizard of Oz prints from here, minus just the Wicked Witch color version, I have the sketch one. This one just, I don't know, I just didn't care for it. I didn't gravitate toward it. And I wish that I would have gotten it when it was on sale. These things retailed for 50 bucks, and now they can sell for upwards of 500 depending on the print. So I wish I would have bought it for 50 bucks at the time just to have it, because I am a completionist. I would have liked to complete that collection. We have Snow White. And you can see at the bottom here, they have a little calendar. I'm not going to go through that. You know, it has President's Day and Valentine's Day and stuff. We're mainly just looking at the artwork. So we got Dorothy of Oz, and again, I like this print. I have that one in my collection. Not so much a fan of the Glinda one. Little Mermaid, Rapunzel. And as these calendars go along, this is 2014, they had 2012, 2011, 2010. I think that they started running out of maybe characters and ideas. And so only a few of the pieces I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. I think the Dorothy black and white version where was it? Kansas. We're not in Kansas anymore. I was like, Oz? I was trying to figure out where Dorothy from. So when she was in Kansas on the farm, you know, that cool black and white style, just kind of a neat concept. I also think the Mermaid Lagoon is really cool just because there's so many characters. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and 12. 12 different characters on one print. The amount of detail and thought and process that went into developing that is just phenomenal. This Alice one's not so bad. Probably not my favorite of the Alice prints, but it's kind of cool because it highlights a fact that she's really huge in that one big scene. And so that's the last one that's in there. That goes all the way through July. And so let's go to the next calendar. And actually, I was just thinking, wait a minute, that one goes to July. So there's a piece of cardboard that was in here separating. I'm like, that can't be the back of the calendar. All this time, it's only been 6 months and I didn't know. This is Tiger Lily. I actually don't have this one, and I think it is kind of a cool piece. I like Captain Hook in the background and Shmi. You know, I think they have sort of a cool look to them. So this is one that I have not seen come up very often. In fact, I don't remember the last time I've seen it for sale. Old Woman in the Chute, not a favorite of mine. Probably wish I would have got it because I have the other fairy tale kind of fable-y ones. But again, if I got it at 50 bucks, I probably would have been happy. At the time, I thought 50 bucks was a little too much for it because I didn't care for it. Now, kind of kicking myself because at least it would be worth a little bit more. Little Red Riding Hood, not my favorite one of that one as well, of that particular character. Again, as we go along, we're going to get better prints of, or at least better ones, I believe, of some of the characters. Lady in the Lake, okay. And again, I've got most of these. I don't have the Tiger Lily and the Glinda, but I've got the rest of them so far, I believe. Tinkerbell, that's kind of a fun one. I enjoy that. And this is the last one. That is December. And so let me go back to July and put the cardboard in. That's just a little bit of a support so things don't bend. And the cool thing about these for me is the cover, because they give, again, that really cool like compilation of these characters. So even though I don't have that Tiger Lily print, I've got a version of it in here. And I also have that character on the cover with Alice, with Red Riding Hood, with Snow White, with the Little Mermaid, with Rapunzel, and it sort of puts them all together. So yeah, I think they're pretty cool calendars. I like the size of them. They're unique. And then this is one we're not going to open, but this is the sketch version of them. And I've never really looked it up. I don't know how many sketch versions of this calendar actually exist. I don't know if each of the other ones has a sketch version. I'm leaning towards no, just because I haven't seen them pop up organically, but I also haven't been actively seeking them out. So if they exist, I would like to get them. We won't open this up, but you can see it's just the sketch versions of each of these characters, and it's the whole way through. Now, the back of this one is a little bit different. I believe that there was a special edition of this particular 2014 one, and this was the cover image to it. And I do not have that variant style. I probably eventually will get that one. So that's one that will also be added in my collection. So that's the only difference with the back here. But they also go through and show the various black and white versions of these posters along the way. So it's kind of a cool look. So I'm not going to open this up just because it's sealed, so why breach a seal? Just to show you the black and white prints. We've gone through some black and white versus color versions of stuff before in my other videos. So again, here's the 2012 one, but it also, again, has a different color or cover with different characters on it. Wendy, I think, is okay. There's also a Wendy version. I'd have to look up. I don't even know if I have the other Wendy version where she's walking the plank. I think I might. I think I actually might have just gotten that one. Queen of Hearts, I believe I'm missing. I'm racking my brain here because I recently just acquired a bunch of pieces. I think I got like 10 or 15 different pieces, and so I can't remember off the top of my head which ones I got. I know I did not get the Golden Harp. It wasn't my favorite one. The design, the style of it, in general, Jack and the Beanstalk was never like my favorite thing ever, except for the Abbott and Costello Jack and the Beanstalk. That was a good black and white cartoon as a kid. Or not cartoon, black and white movie as a kid. I remember enjoying that. But Little Mermaid, okay print. Not my favorite of the Little Mermaid ones, but sort of up there. Not the worst of them. Little Bo Peep, really like this one. I really like some of the like nursery rhyme types. Little Bo Peep, I think Little Miss Muffet's one of my favorite ones. See if we get to that. We have Thumbelina. Again, not my favorite, but for $50 would have been a steal. Now, not so much a steal. We got Alice in Wonderland. This is sort of one, it takes kind of one element from this, which is a Cheshire Cat, and adds that to the statue, and then also takes a different version of this, which I'll show you a little bit later. Tinkerbell, Whispering, and Peter Pan's Ear, not my favorite of those. Again, as we get to the older versions of the calendars, but we have better and better prints in my opinion. Cinderella sort of inspires the statue, which you can see more details about that in the video that I posted about the Cinderella statue, but not my favorite one of that. This Snow White, better than the other Snow White, I'm sorry, I was thinking of Little Red Riding Hood. This Snow White is actually pretty good and is the better version of the other Snow White where she's just kind of laying asleep, I believe, and sort of upside down. Love Hansel and Gretel. I think that's a really good one. You got the witch pushing Hansel in the background. Gretel's just filling her face. She's like, it kind of reminds me of like her last meal. She's like, this is it. I'm going down. I'm going to eat every bit of candy in the world. Turquoise Fairy, okay, not my favorite one. And it's just all kind of blue, so it seems a little much for me. It's a little too one color. I'm gonna go ahead and put this cardboard in there. So now we're getting back to the two oldest versions of the calendar, and these have, that's what you call dropping something on camera. So this actually has some of the older and better prints. Beauty and the Beast is okay. I don't really care for either of the two Beauty and the Beast prints. They're okay. Princess and the Frog, I do not have this one. Wasn't a huge Princess and the Frog fan, but you know, this print's okay for me. This Cinderella, I also am missing. Do I have any of these prints? Do I have any print? I keep saying I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this. I promise you, I assure you, I have a lot, if not most of these prints. I'll have to look up at the end here how much I've got. This Little Mermaid's pretty cool. I like this one. I like the style. She's floating. They have the light beams coming through. It's just a really solid, you know, print and paint job on that. So here's the other version of Alice in Wonderland. This is also the one that the majority, or mainly the statue is based on, but just the Alice figure and the mushroom. And then they stole the Cheshire Cat from that other drawing and sort of used him versus the flowers here, which I think was actually a really great choice. Tinkerbell, not my favorite of the Tinkerbells, but an okay one. We've got Rapunzel, which is okay, but I actually like the other Rapunzel better. Again, I think they started running out of some concepts and ideas, but that other one was better. Princess and the Pea is okay with me. She's all right. Again, I like the Little Miss Muffet and Bo Peep and stuff a little bit better. Arabian Nights is actually, I recently got this one. It wasn't my favorite. Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought the pastel colors and stuff were just a little odd. I didn't really care for the color scheme, but I kind of grew to like it. And so I'm glad I was able to get that one added to my collection. Then we got the Wicked Witch of the West. I do not have the colored version of this one, which I really would like to get that to complete that sort of Wizard of Oz selection, minus Glinda, which I just talked about. But I do have the black and white sketch version of this print. I do not have the color one to match it. The only one I have a color and black and white is that earlier Little Mermaid I showed you where she was floating in the water. Yeah, here's Wendy walking the plank. You got Captain Hook. You got all the scurvy pirates in the background. And the last one we have the Snow Queen. That's sort of a Elsa from Frozen, except not really, because I don't think Frozen was out in 2011. So let's go ahead and kind of put this back. I want to make sure I get the cardboard in the right spot to sort of support these. So we'll also now look at the last calendar, which is the 2010 version. And this, I think, has the best prints. These are the originals. These are the kind of the ones that people won't recognize because they've been around so long. This Wizard of Oz one is phenomenal. It's got all 4, even 5 characters if you count Toto. It's just a good composition. You got the Emerald City, you got the Yellow Brick Road, you get some cool stylized versions of the characters, and also Dorothy looking pretty. Then you have Sleeping Beauty. This is, I think, another one. It almost reminds me of the American Beauty poster. It's just got the roses and the hand on the stomach, so it almost reminds me of that that movie. Best Tinkerbell one, I believe, in my opinion, and this is what they based the statue on. And so if you haven't seen the statues yet, feel free to look at my other videos on the channel. I outline each of those statues as well as compare all 4 of them together. This is the Little Mermaid one that the statue is based on. This is one of the first prints, and I think the most popular one. This was the one that I think put this particular series on the map. Yeah, Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. This is just another great one. I like the 3 bears on looking, and they're just all kind of curious but menacing and, you know, kind of playful. I think that's really cool. So that's a good one. It's in that fairy tale, more like nursery rhyme sort of children's storybook sort of area. I like the other Alice in Wonderland better, but I think this one is I think 3rd best. So I think I like the one with the caterpillar and the mushroom, and I like the one with the other Cheshire Cat that sort of inspired the statue, and then probably this one after that. Oh, maybe I would put the large Alice in there somewhere as well. The Alice in Wonderlands are great. Alice in Wonderland was not my favorite animated movie when I was growing up, and then also the new movies I didn't think were that great. I just never was a big Alice in Wonderland story fan, but the prints are really good. Little Miss Muffet, she's fun with the spider, and she's throwing the porridge, is it? Or oatmeal? Is that enough evening or porridge? Yeah, there you go. Not oatmeal, porridge. This Beauty and the Beast is okay. Again, the 2 Beauty and the Beast ones are not my favorite. I think it's the Beast. I don't really care for the way that the Beast is done. This, I have been guessing that this is going to be the next statue, which I hope that they change their mind on that, because it's not my favorite of the series, and so if they do the next statue, I might feel obligated to purchase it because I'm a completionist and I want them all, but it's not my favorite print. But J. Scott Campbell has the Little Mermaid and the Alice and Tinkerbell and Alice in Wonderland, I believe. Those 3, I think he has statue prints on his website, which are kind of like, I think, supposed to be the precursors or released in tandem with those statues. He also has had for some time the Beauty and the Beast statue print. But that has been out before Cinderella was even announced, and so I'm hoping that they've scrapped the idea because that's not my favorite one. Little Red Riding Hood's okay, not my favorite of the Little Red Riding Hood. There's a better one. We just saw that where she was Oh, that was Snow White. She was running through the woods. There's another Little Red Riding Hood that's actually not part of the Fairytale Fantasy series. That's what I'm thinking of. I'll have to actually hold on one second. Let me reach. Let me stretch. So this is the one that I think about. This is my favorite Little Red Riding Hood print, and it's not part of the Fairytale Fantasy collection. So that is actually not officially part of that. That was a cover to some comic book, I believe. Then you have the Evil Queen, very menacing. And then finally you have, no, not finally, second to finally, the penultimate, or something like that. I think that's what you call it. And then we have Cinderella. Now, I believe that there are some of the prints that are not in here, or am I missing a calendar? I'm just thinking to myself, I'm thinking there wasn't the Cinderella getting out of the carriage one. So there might be some ones that are missing here. I'll have to sort of look at that. I could have flipped over, or a couple pages could have gotten stuck together when I was thumbing through them. But overall, again, I think these are really cool calendars. I like the size of them. I like the style of them. If you did find one of these and you want to keep it intact, that's great, which I always agree keeping it intact. But if you can find a second one, or you don't care about keeping it intact, having some 10 by 14 prints, I mean, this is just a great way to get those and be able to display them. So if you're not concerned about limited edition or actual printed quality prints, and you're just wanting to display those particular posters of those particular characters, again, just cutting that out, I think those would be some pretty cool prints that you can hang on your wall. Have a great series without spending too much money. Because if you buy one of these, again, they retailed for $50, not this one, but the other Fairytale Fantasies of this size, the 13 by 19, retailed for $50. And sometimes you can see them for $500-600 a piece. Now, not all of them. Some of them are still in that 75 to 100 range, 150, 200, 350, and that kind of goes up from there. But if you can get one of these for less than $100 and get 12 prints out of them and display those, I think that's just a pretty economical way to do stuff like that. If you want to display these with either the statues or the other prints that you have, or maybe your comic book collection. So anyway, pretty cool prints. I think they're pretty awesome. I really like the J. Scott Campbell Fairytale Fantasy collection. I have a lot of the pieces. I don't have all of the pieces, but I do have enough of the collection. I am very much a completionist, and I would like to have them all, even though some of the pieces, they're okay. I didn't really care for them that much. There was a character I didn't like the color scheme or the style of that particular print. However, I would still like to have them. So some of those that I even are not seeking out actively, if they came across a nice one at a good price, I would probably purchase it. And then there's a couple that I would really like, and I'm just looking for them, and they don't come up very often because they're out of 50 or out of 100 edition size, and who knows how many have been destroyed or lost to time. And so anyway, the calendars, though, are a really cool way to kind of have a collection of all those prints, even the ones that I don't have. It's sort of almost a checklist in a fashion, what years they came out, which prints they were, what they looked like. And then also the covers of these have a different artwork of the same characters that were part of that collection. So it's sort of another piece of artwork that I can have in my collection to display that features the characters from that whole series and the prints around the room that I might be hanging up, but they also have different poses and styles and characters. Not different characters, same characters with different poses, styles, etc. But kind of a cool little compilation artwork on some of these covers. So anyway, I think these are really cool. I'm glad to have them in my collection. Hopefully I can find the other black and white versions, because I think they might exist, but I'm not sure which ones they made them for exactly. And maybe eventually, someday, we'll get the 2016 Lost calendar, and it'll probably be 2030 or something by that time, and it'll be titled 2030. But anyway, that Mirror collection, which I'm really not sure about the theme of that one, whether it was going to be good or bad. Maybe that's why they canceled it. Anyway, thanks for watching the Pop Art Hunter channel. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and all those other sorts of things. And we will see you next time right here on the Pop Art Hunter channel.